Hi, welcome back to my channel, guys. Today's video is going to be sort of a combination of things. I will be unboxing the February Boxycharm regular box, as well as just put on some new products that have been new on the market, that have been, you know, all over social media. The Wet n Wild Dewy foundation, the e.l.f. Camo Dewy concealer, the Bite Beauty new foundation, the Miscellar foundation that they just released, their very first complexion product. And then I also have some of the e.l.f. new, what are these called? The bite size eyeshadows. So, you know, if that's something that you're interested in, then just keep on watching. Okay, so here we go. This is what the box looks like this month. I got the small one because it didn't include the palette that some other boxes received. Sorry, I'm looking at my viewfinder. But anyway, they didn't include a card. So normally the card lists all of the claims of the product and including their prices. So I don't have that, so what I'll do is if I can find the retail value of each of these, I'll just kind of put it up on the screen. The first thing here is from FAB First Aid Beauty. It's these Facial Radiance Pads. And I'm just gonna open it up now and put these on.
These pads help exfoliate, tone, and brighten the skin. The pack we got has 24 pads for $17, but they also sell a $60 pack for $34 at Sephora.
Next on the box we have this serum from Somerville, and it is a smooth and firming serum. It's Bio-Mimicking peptides. So we're going to put that on next. This is what it looks like. Not that that matters. I'm just going to put a couple of drops. Drop it between my fingers. Smells nice. It feels really hydrating as well. Okay, and I'm just gonna apply my regular moisturizer, the Tatcha, the Dewy Skin Cream. My favorite moisturizer of all time. If cost wasn't an issue, I would never use anything else. Love this stuff. It's hydrating. It smells amazing. It's like just applying it, it's just like an experience in and of itself. This is my second bottle, but whoa, sorry. Why am I saying I'm sorry? My hair got in the way. It's not my fault. Okay, moving on to the next thing in the box is this Touch and Soul. It's a glassy skin balm. So it's supposed to be hydrating and giving your skin a nice glow. So we're just gonna apply that next. Beautiful packaging. Has a nice clean scent. Feels super hydrating as well. I'm gonna love this one. Okay, and the next thing on the box is from Pure Cosmetics. This is 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. And it seems to be a pore filling primer, even though it says here it's silicone free. So we're just gonna apply this in the areas where I have enlarged pores. This doesn't look to be filling in the pores at all. It just feels like a very hydrating primer. That's what it feels like to me. So I think if you don't struggle with enlarged pores and you're not trying to cover like a lot of texture or anything like that, you would enjoy this. Okay, and the last thing on the item is this set of brushes from Alamar Cosmetics. I was happy to get this for sure because I love the quality of their brushes. I own the very first set that they released. They're called Ojitos. It was a set for the eyes, for eyeshadow, a set of 3. And this one is for the complexion. So there's 3. And again, if I find the price on this, I will put it on the screen. The first one is a bronzer brush. It looks like this. Could probably use this for foundation. The second one is called a Complexion brush. And these are incredibly soft, and the quality holds up. I've washed mine multiple times and they look brand new. And the last one is brightening brush, which is smaller, which I could probably use to just set my under eyes or for highlighter. So we're going to go ahead and apply some of the new products that I talked about at the beginning, the new releases, while using these brushes. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation. I am in the shade Desert Beige. So we're gonna just put that on one side of our face, and then we'll do the other side. We'll do the other side with the other foundation, with the Bite Beauty one. I'm gonna try to use that large brush to just blend this in. I always like to go in after with a sponge, just to kind of make everything seem more seamless and more blended in, and also to absorb any excess product. Okay, so far I can still see all my sun damage. Yeah, you can clearly see it. So I know that coverage was removed when I used the sponge, and that's just how it generally is. So I wouldn't consider this is not, they don't claim to be a full coverage, but I would consider it like light coverage, light to low medium. So I'm just kind of putting a little bit of the coverage back by using whatever was left on the sponge, on the brush. Okay, on the other side, we're gonna use the Bite Beauty Changemaker Miscellar Foundation, and my shade is M90, or the closest shade. And we're gonna do the same. We're just gonna just squirt some onto the brush, and then go on this side. Both seem to be an okay color match, which is usually hard for me. Okay, and this side, as far as coverage, it has definitely more coverage than the Wet n Wild one, but you can still see my freckles there, and you can see the texture. So, and again, these none claim to be full coverage. I think the big claim for the Bite Beauty one is that it's supposed to look very natural and very skin-like, and so that's part of it. You know, having your natural skin peek through is what makes it a natural foundation. So far so good, and they seem to be a pretty match as far as color. Okay, now it's time for the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer, and I'm in the color medium beige. So let's see. I tried it once before. I don't think this color is the best one, but it's not incredibly off either. And a little bit goes a long way. Reminds me of the Tarte concealer. And the packaging and the doe foot applicator. And the consistency as well, but the idea is that it won't be as drying. Yeah, that color, it may not come through that way on camera, but that color is too light. I need to get a different color. So I'm just taking this side that I blended the foundation with and just use that to hopefully kind of tone it down a bit and have it match a little bit better. Okay, that's better. It feels nice and hydrated. It definitely doesn't feel drying like the Tarte Shape Tape that I mentioned before. This definitely feels a lot more nice under the eyes. Okay, I'm gonna apply some of this Colourpop Concealer just to prime my eyes, because this one is a good color for it, and I find that it's a bit drying, so I don't like to use it as a concealer on my dry skin, but I find that for the eyelids it works fine. Okay, so the next thing will be the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadows. I'm gonna show you the ones that I picked up. This first one is called Truffles. The next one is called Carnival Candy. The next one is Pumpkin Pie. And the last one I picked up is Cream and Sugar. I think I'm going to start with this color here, just to set the eyelid. Using that Alamar. Ooh, that's a lot of, can you see that? Let's do that again, that's fun. Not great as far as quality, but just kind of fun to see. Anyway, we're gonna set that. It's just a skin color, which works perfect. And using that same brush again, we're gonna just set the under eye, which I didn't do before. Still, the concealer still feels a little tacky, which is good. That means it is hydrating as it claims. And I'm just using the Laura Mercier Transluscent powder. Just a bit, not much. And in the crevices, because I tend to sweat there. That sounded pretty gross actually, but it's the smile lines, you know what I mean. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, I think we'll go into the Pumpkin Pie one and use this color here as a transition. And I'm using my Alamar blending brush. It's the one that I mentioned from that first set that they released. I think this is like the one we got now in Boxycharm. I think is like their third set that they've released. Okay, so far so good. Blending nicely. Next, I think we'll go into the Carnival palette and use this shade here to deepen out the outer corners a bit. I'm going to use that same color to go on the lower lash line. I just picked up a smaller brush for that. Try to use this red one from the same Carnival palette. I want to try and kind of make the outer and the lower lash line, just bring a little bit of red to it, because right now it's looking very bronzy, which is not a bad thing. It's pretty, but I just kind of want to throw in some red. And that may have just been a bad move because it's looking muddy now, so those colors are not working very well together. Okay, so to clean this up a bit, I'm gonna go back into that first color we used from the Cream and Sugar, the nude color, and just kind of apply it here to sort of cancel out some of that color that went up too high. And for the lid color, again from the Cream and Sugar, I'm gonna use this color here. This is with a dry brush, and you definitely have a nice payoff, very pigmented. I usually just blend it with my ring finger. Okay guys, so I finished my eyes off camera. I just, for eyeliner, I used the NYX Jumbo Pencil in French Fries. It's just a light brown. And for mascara, I used the Clinique High Impact Mascara in 01 Black. Now we're gonna move on to bronzer, and we're gonna use the brush from Alamar. This is the one Complexion brush. And I'm just using this Bobbi Brown bronzer. It's in the shade Elvis Duran. Cute. And it looks like that. It's a really warm tone bronzer. I have to say, this brush I find is kind of flimsy, so this is not my favorite, but the other two I can see myself using a lot more. Just to use the brush again, because that's what it's for, but we'll just finish up with that. This is a blush from Note, and it is Desert Rose, the color. It's a beautiful peach matte. Let's see if it's better for blush. Maybe. This definitely works better for blush, in my opinion. Okay, and we're gonna finish it off with this Burt's Bees lipstick. It is called Pouring Nude, and it's a beautiful bronzy, shimmery color. I figured would work really well with the eyes. Okay guys, that completes this video. Let me just give you a final rundown of the products and really quickly what my thoughts are on them. As far as the Boxycharm, I love getting skincare. I'm not upset about it. The only product that I think I was expecting a little bit more and was kind of disappointed was the Pure primer because I thought this would be pore filling, and being that that's one of my major problems, I was disappointed that it didn't. Everything else though felt really nice on the skin. It felt really moisturizing, really hydrating. And the one here, the Glassy one from, what is it? Touch and Soul, really gave my skin like a nice glow. The FAB pads felt really nice on the skin as well, so no complaints there. As far as the foundation, the one from Bite, the color match is great. The coverage is just what I typically look for. I don't like full coverage, but I also don't like super light coverage either, because I do have a lot of sun damage to cover. So this was just right. I don't think for the price it is the best that I've ever tried, but it's good. The Wet n Wild one I really like as well. It is super hydrating. It feels really nice on the skin. And you know, for the price, I mean, this like $6. So I think the performance on this is very comparable to the Bite, and this is like $20 more. So, you know, the coverage I felt like is similar, although it does, in my opinion, has less coverage than the Bite one. But if you just want to increase the coverage, just you know, use a brush as opposed to a beauty blender. The concealer, I really liked, aside other than the color, which is too light. I have to get the correct one, but I found it to be nice and easy to apply, very smoothing, very hydrating. I like the fact that it still felt tacky even after a little while, because that to me indicates, you know, it's definitely hydrating. So really happy with that. And the eyeshadows, these were, you know, like a lot of formulas out there, like Colourpop, a lot of other ones, very powdery, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad formula. It just means that it may wear off a lot faster, but a lot of that you can fix by putting on, you know, a really good, you know, eye primer. I have to play around with these some more. I actually only, I think, touched on 2 or 3 of them. There was definitely one that I didn't touch, but you know, it's a lot of colors, and I wanted to just keep it simple. So I'm pretty sure the formula is consistent all around, and you know, all in all, $3. You know, what can you say? I felt it did go on really smoothly. I'm happy with the way the eye look turned out. So yeah, no complaints there either. The brushes, like I said, this one here it's kind of flimsy, but it did end up working out for blush. The other two I'm very happy with, and the Alamar, you know, brush quality and their makeup products as well, I completely adore. So very happy with that it was included in my Boxycharm. Okay, so that is the end of all of the products that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and hope to see you on my next video. Bye.